Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Whether you're watching from Twitch or YouTube or rewatching this or whatever, thank you for tuning in and taking time out of your day to join us today. Well, I bet y'all noticed that little hiccup right there where I was on the starting soon screen. I actually went to this screen, then went back to it for like 5 seconds. I need to be better. I need to realize, oh right, if I click it, it's gonna pop up. But yeah, it's funny how another stream, and here I am, a few hiccups in. And speaking of this stream, I'll be honest, and I'm gonna be opening it up to just mentioning it to everyone because it feels necessary. As my plan when it came to streaming today for this, I figured out my idea. But all of a sudden, I do little logistics of putting the background together, putting all the logos together, and making this little background scene for the draft that I'm gonna do, and then putting little TBDs where the names are gonna be for each person. I had to do it individually, which sucked, but it is what it is. And I had to do all these little logistics, put everything together, get my idea together, and guess how long it took me? Take a guess. Take a gander at how long, for some reason, this process took me. Since I didn't plan this out the night before or hours before, it took me, felt like 2 hours, like forever. Apparently, it still went on for at least 2 hours because almost every time I want to stream, my plan is for 1 o'clock. But then I always end up pushing it to 2 o'clock, then we work it out. And it's kind of funny how I always try to shoot for 1 o'clock, then I say 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, and I finally do 2. And to realize that if it doesn't work at 1, I can just do 2, so I can give myself some time. I tried doing that, but here I am at nearly 3:30 p.m. Central Time, finally streaming. Okay. I said all this stuff to myself, and I feel a little bit better to just talk about it. Because, I don't know, it just feels like it needed to be discussed, needed to be talked about. I know that was unnecessary rants, and I apologize. But, with that being said, I'm going to get straight into it. Just going to get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you would like to see on the channel, whether it's on Twitch or it's on YouTube, it would be greatly appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. But anyways, so the way this is going to work is you can see on the screen we have 5 slots for 5 superstars or 5 groups for superstars, single superstars, tag teams, groups, whatever you want to call it, like just about anything, where each slot is 1 pick. So let's say, I don't know, let's say John Cena was part of the draft, and he's a pick by himself. Let's say the Judgment Day, so Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonough, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor were all together as 1 pick. If they're all still grouped together as a Judgment Day, then they count as 1 pick. But the scenario for this is when it comes to doing the draft. Now, I had my own idea that I was going to do, but I kind of wanted to intertwine it and kind of basically do the current day rosters from WWE in 2024, in May of 2024, but I had my own twist to it where I change up some teams, change up the landscape with my vision of who do I want to be single superstars, who do I want to be face, who do I want to be the good guys, the bad guys, and all in all, who would I want to put together as groups, tag teams, and whatnot. Now, just to get that out of the way, gotta get that out of the way. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the draft. I know that I kind of rambled on for the first 5 minutes, but yeah. So the way this stream is going to work is that we're going to go through all the picks, get all the draft done. Then after that, we're going to get to setting up the universe mode. Now I've already put all the tag teams and all the superstars already on the brands, so that way, but whenever we get to the universe mode setup, it's a lot easier said than done. Well, obviously, overall, champions and all that kind of stuff will still be figured out later on, but for now, we're just going to do draft and then do the setup. And when I looked at all the picks that I put together, I'm going to be doing like a random, like, oh, who's going to be this pick, this pick, this pick. Because there's a total of about 45 superstars, or 45 total picks for each brand. So we're going to do 8 rounds, 5 picks each, and so on and so forth. Now, we're going to get straight into it. I don't know if any of y'all can hear that. I really hope y'all do. So I have to do a double check so that way y'all can somewhat be able to hear it. Da-da-da-da. Alright, so I'm going to go and restart it. And this start for this stream has been very, very interesting, to say the least. So now, it's time for the Dex WWE2K24 Universe Mode Draft. So, like I said, 8 rounds, 5 picks per brand for each round. And I will make sure to update the names as I go on and then reset them for the next round and so on and so forth. Once we get through all 8 rounds, we're going to get some gameplay. Obviously, not gameplay, but we'll get to see me setting up the universe mode. Get to go in depth of all that kind of stuff. So, there are like I said, 45 picks. So, with that being said, Raw will get the first pick, being the flagship show, the main Monday night brand. So, with the first pick in the 2000... Wait, I gotta set it up properly. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. So the first pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, Raw selects the Monday Night Messiah, Mr. Monday Nights, not RVD, but Seth freaking Rollins! Woo-woo. Oh, crap. Let's see if I can fix this. Definitely did not want to run into this issue. No, I just want to change the name. No, I just want to change the name. Not difficult. Alright, there we go. There we go. Got that out of the way. Oh yeah, I could just do that. Alright. So now Smackdown is up, and they will be doing their first pick. And with the second pick in the first round of the WWE Draft, Smackdown selects the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I don't realize it's going to be so difficult. Holy crap. Oh, it's already... I'll just do last names if it's just a single superstar. To make life easier on myself, I'll just put the names by themselves. Just the last names. Sick of time, sick of space, sick of everything. So now, both groups officially on the board with their first pick. And that music went away. Starting it up again. Woo! If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below in the comments or chat or whatever you want to call it. So now, both brands have made their first pick. And now, with a third pick in the first round, Raw selects the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Very bold choice from Raw. As they finally start up their women's division. And just for context and clarification, with this draft that I'm doing, I basically took all the people on the roster, then I just took away legends for like maybe special occasions, and I tried to not overuse NXT roster, use some of them, at least for the sake of the single superstars. And yeah, a lot of them are going to be just in-game, and some of them are not in-game yet that I have put together. So, yeah. So now, Smackdown is up with their second pick. And with the second pick, the fourth pick in the first round, Smackdown selects the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley. I'll be honest, I don't really have an order for this. I wish I did. But it's just, I'm going just by what I see. Which, I'll be honest, I kind of wish I helped the brands out and kind of like show, kind of like spin a wheel of picks or something. Oh, I have a good solution for myself. Hold on. I keep taking forever. Oh, it's not. Oh, there's just so much going on. I have two screens, but it's like at the same time. It's like, bro. Because I feel like I'm going to take forever if I just try to do it the way I've been doing it. Alright, so now Raw is up. So now they're going to be getting prepared to make their next pick. And with the next pick, with the fifth pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, with the fifth pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, Raw selects Katana Chance and Caden Carter. I didn't think about stuff like this. Kinda wish I planned and actually spent time doing this. Alright, that means now Smackdown is up for their next pick. And with the sixth pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, SmackDown selects from NXT, Fallon Henley. And now if they're actually from NXT in real life, I will say from NXT, so that way it just gives a bit of more feel to it, I guess, would be the way to go. So it means now, Raw is not only the second to last pick of the first round. And with the next pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, Raw selects Raquel Rodriguez. Okay, so I'm good. Wow, a lot of females off the board, especially. It's like after the first picks for Raw and SmackDown, all of a sudden just women. So they're definitely gonna. I'm guessing they're already stocking up on their women's division, and Raw is already stocking up on their women's tag team division with Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. So that leaves SmackDown to their next pick. Alright, SmackDown is now on the clock. So with the next pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, SmackDown selects Santos Escobar, Angel, Humberto, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and Elektra Lopez, Legado del Fantasma. Yeah, I figured. So for both sides, only one tag team has been taken off the board for both sides. Very, very interesting to see. As next, Raw will make the final pick of the first round. And with the final pick of the first round, Raw selects, with their final pick in the first round of the 2024 WWE Draft, Raw selects the team Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. So it looks like Raw is really stacking up on their women, not just their women's division, but specifically their women's tag team division. As you have two tag teams already. You got Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. And Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. And you got Charlotte Flair, Raquel Rodriguez. Definitely some interesting picks, to say the least, for both brands. So now, we are now down to the final pick in the first round for for SmackDown, sorry. Final pick for SmackDown in of the first round. So, with the next pick, and the final pick of the first round, SmackDown selects Eric, Ivar, and Valhalla, the Viking Raiders. I'll just put Raiders. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting the way I've set it up. So, yeah, obviously nothing too crazy, but both sides picking up tag teams or groups for their selective brands. Both brands started off hot with two solid with their first and second overall picks for their brands. And then Raw went off with picks 3 and 5 to stack up not just the tag team division, but their women's tag team division. But then SmackDown did the same thing, but for their men's tag team division by stacking up with Legado del Fantasma and the Viking Raiders. So very interesting picks for both sides. Great to see so far. Definitely interesting. And it's funny when you look at when you have the first and second overall picks for the brands side by side. They're rivals. Rollins versus Rhodes. Flair versus Ripley. Very, very cool to see. Alright, so that'll do it for round 1. So, let's go ahead and... Oh, so I can't be able to... Okay. I wasn't sure if I would be able to do it. So I can just basically do this. So that way y'all can't see who's going to be next. I can just click it up and save myself some time. Alright. So, I would say we can go ahead and start with Raw again, but we're going to go in a different direction. Where instead of Raw starts, we're going to have SmackDown start round 2 of 8 for... As I know that when it comes to tag teams, both groups will be stacked in both ways for both sides. So it looks like SmackDown is already in with their pick. As with the first pick in the second round, with the first pick of the second round of the SmackDown selects. I keep trying to do all the sing everything. With the first pick in the second round, SmackDown selects Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Very, very interesting pick. As with that pick I think it's a good pick for SmackDown because they finally kickstart their women's division up a little more with Rhea Ripley, as well as starting up their women's tag team division. So this will definitely be interesting. And as for titles and how I'm going to organize it, I'll definitely probably discuss it and explain it, especially with the women's tag team division. There's one women's tag team title for WWE that is shared between both Raw and SmackDown in real life, and yeah, that kind of thing. So I'll kind of do that kind of thing where it's just one set of one set of tag team titles, both brands, and then it just kind of like both divisions kind of thing, you know. So, or I might just split it up. I don't know. I'll figure it out at some point since there's only going to be 6 teams. So that means Raw is now on deck with their first pick of the second round. As I don't know what to expect from the Raw side of things, the Monday night side of things. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like I'm hearing things, but I might be going crazy, so apologies in advance. So, with the second pick in the second round, Raw selects Alba Fire Isla Dawn, the Unholy Union. Very, very bold pick from the Monday night side of things. It's a very bold choice from both sides. As the first pick in the second round for each brand are tag teams, specifically for their women's division. I'm pretty sure when it comes to Raw, I'm pretty sure they have just basically completed or rounded out their women's tag team division. So, very, very good timing for the Raw brand. But now, is now back to the SmackDown side of things. So they'll be making their next pick. So they're on the clock with their second pick. Wonder who they will be picking up. So, with the next pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, SmackDown selects A-Town Down Austin Theory. Very, very good pick for that side of things, especially when you think about it. Because he beat John Cena at WrestleMania. Good pickup for the SmackDown brand, which will now move the things back over and put Monday Night Raw back on the clock. It's just when I think about it, I feel like I need to say a certain thing every single time where it's like, the next pick in the WWE draft, Raw Select, Smackdown Select, that kind of thing. But I keep going everywhere. Then again, they do that in real life too. I don't have to say something specifically, even though I wish I did. But, ooh. So the pick is in. And this pick, I gotta say, it's very bold. Because it's a group that's been rumored in real life. So I'll kind of hint at it. It's a team that's been preparing to make its presence felt, its presence known in the WWE. Both, hopefully, in real life and hopefully in our universe mode. As the next pick in the draft, Raw selects Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross. The Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six is heading to Monday nights. Oh, wow. I did not expect for round 2. I would say maybe later rounds, but preferably I would have picked maybe round 2, last pick. But good pickup. Good pick for Monday Night Raw. Obviously, I only mentioned 5 names. The reason I only said 5 names instead of 6, I could include 6, duh. But the problem with this is that for the WWE2K games, the most people could have in a group is 5. So when the LWO had 6 people, I couldn't add that 6th member. So with the Wyatt 6, it will only be 5, but it will say 6 for the sake of the name. So that'll now put Smackdown back on the clock, getting ready to make their 3rd pick for the 2nd round. It looks like, wow, the pick is already in. Very, very quick to see from Smackdown. As with the next pick, the next pick in the draft, Smackdown selects The Miz and R-Truth. Awesome Truth! Obviously, I know that it's going to look squished, but it is what it is. And it looks like that's the 3rd team that SmackDown has selected in terms of their male tag team division. So they're really stacking up early on in the span of the first 2 rounds for their tag team division. So very interesting to see from the SmackDown side of things, which will now put Monday Night Raw back on the clock. And the next pick is officially in. As with the next pick in the WWE draft, Raw selects the ballsy one. I could say the other name, but I'm not going to go there and say that name. But the ballsy one, Shotzi. I can't say it's the greatest pickup because it's not my place to say anything, but it's definitely an interesting pickup for the Monday Night Raw brand. As now, SmackDown is back on the clock. It's definitely a lot of work to try to put all these and prepare these. Goodness gracious. But anyways, With the next pick in the 2024 WWE Draft, Smackdown selects, I would say from NXT, but we're not going that path for this person. He went back down to NXT to rebuild himself, and he finally found himself former NXT Tag Team Champion, even though that introduction is unnecessary, Mr. Baron Corbin. And it's funny, I'm making these picks with my microphone, not right here on the table, but behind my computer. I don't know why I didn't think about fixing it, so if you didn't hear anything, I do apologize. If it was rather faint or you just couldn't hear anything, I do apologize in advance. All right. Here we go with the next pick for Monday nights. Also, just for clarification, there are going to be times where it's going to pick something that's maybe already filled out. Where the way I have it said is the roster's already predetermined. But in terms of the draft itself, obviously by mentioning that, I'm taking away the suspense, randomization. To an extent, well, actually, no, I'm not really taking it away because none of y'all know what the rosters are until I announce them. But I already had the rosters predetermined, set them up in a certain order, and then I kind of just randomly get some help to randomly decide who's going to be for that next pick for the brand for Monday nights, who's going to be the next for Smackdown, so on and so forth. So that way, the randomization is true to not only you guys, but to me, as I'll know, it's going to be this division. It's okay, so I know who it could be, but then it randomizes, it's going to be this person. So, very thankful for that kind of help. As, Raw is now on the board. No, so not a lot of big names so far that you would expect in the process of the first two rounds. I'm not gonna mention them because it'd be taking too long, but definitely interesting thing to notice from my side of things. As with the next pick in the WWE Draft, Raw selects Tegan Nox. Very, very interesting pick. But it looks like SmackDown's slowly filling out their men's singles division, and then they're kind of doing, and then Raw's doing the same thing, but for their women's division. So very interesting so far through the first four picks of round two for both sides. As up next, there's going to be the final pick for SmackDown for round two. And the pick is in. As with the next pick of the WWE Draft, SmackDown selects Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Snap and tap. Very good pickup for the SmackDown brand because you get the young up-and-coming star in Zoe Stark with her Z360. And you got this mission magician, or this mission specialist, or whatever you want to call her, Shayna Baszler, to team up with Stark. So Shayna and Stark, that is a very good pickup for SmackDown. As the final pick will be going to Raw. As when I look at it, apparently only from the Raw superstars, male superstars, only one has been picked up, in Seth freaking Rollins. So, definitely. And it looks like the final pick of the first round is in. As with the final pick in the Second round, Raw selects the Aussie icon from Down Under, one half of A-Town Down Under, currently in real life, but formerly in this universe, Mr. Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is heading to Monday nights. So that will complete the second round of the WWE draft. I'll give you guys a minute to kind of explore and see who's picked up, see what picks you like, picks you don't like. And also, if you're watching this live or just after it's gone live and through a rerun, please consider commenting down below what would you have done differently? What superstars would you want on your brand, or what teams would you put together? Who would you want on this brand? Would you want basically what would you do differently? Would you want a certain superstar or team on another brand? Would you put a team together, disband them? It's funny how I'm trying to explain all of that, and it's just not really processing in my mind. So, yeah, if you just have any ideas of basically what would you do differently based on the draft so far, leave it down below in the comment section. Greatly appreciate that, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that will conclude round 2. So now the slates are clean, and now we'll be moving on to round 3. So you only have 5 more rounds to go. So we have not hit the 40-minute mark on the stream, which I'm glad to see. Kind of hoping we can get a lot done with the next 20 to 30 minutes. So, we're already at round 3, so I think we're on a good pace so far. And now, that being said, for round 3, Raw will make the first selection. Sometimes I have to take a minute because of it being a randomization, sometimes it will go back to the superstar that's already been picked. I can't really do that, so I gotta redo it again. Because I do a number generator to help me out, because it's organized by numbers for every division. So, that being said, with the first pick in the 3rd round, Raw selects Alexa Bliss.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
Stop. It's funny how I said her name, and I accidentally activated mine, my Alexa, by accident. So. Alright. Next pick is inbound for Smackdown brand. And Smackdown is now on the clock. With the second pick in the 3rd round, Smackdown selects Sonya Deville. So far, I'm seeing, just based on the first 2 rounds, as well as the first picks of the 3rd round, a lot of interesting names are being pulled. A lot of them are being picked. It's a lot more I gotta say, based on these picks and basically the selections from each round. It's been a lot more surprising and unexpected compared to the WWE draft nowadays, where you kind of expect like, oh, all these superstars are going to be picked at some point in the draft, but you don't know what round or what pick or what brand, but you kind of know that, oh, they're going to be going to this brand, staying with that brand, and so on and so forth. But with this, like, you may want, I don't know, let me just throw out a name. Obviously John Cena's not in the draft. Let's say you wanted John Cena, or you expected John Cena to go first or second round to Raw, right? Maybe you expected that. And then by the time we get to the 4th or 5th round, he's still on the board, and he goes in the late, I don't know, 4th round, early 5th round. So that brings in a surprise factor. So it's like, it's a superstar like John Cena, you may want him to go early, first round, first pick, or it's basically to like at least the first round, and then he drops all the way to the 4th or 5th round and finally gets picked up by Smackdown with like the 3rd or 4th pick. That's like unexpected. That's surprising. It's like a thing of, oh, you wanted this certain person to, like, this is where you project this person at, and they fall in the draft and then go in the later rounds, and it's a better pickup for that brand. So, I don't know. It's just a lot of unexpected things can happen, as I've seen so far from this alone. The way it's set up, holy moly, so many unexpected things. So next is Raw. The thing I've noticed so far is that the first 2 picks of this round, both brands are just sticking with the women's division. So I guess a very bold decision in my book, at least. Wait, hold on. Did I say the right things in terms of from NXT? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I've said the right things. Wait, what round did Fallon Henley? Oh, I'm so dumb. I know for a fact Fallon Henley went. I'm not sure if I said it NXT. Oh, I did, because she was like the only one from NXT. Sorry, I just had to give myself some clarification for something. It's like I don't want to be like, oh, I missed someone from NXT or something like that. So, just had to clarify that for myself, because it's like I want to add that sense of realism to it. So. Also, I gotta make a quick adjustment to the stream really quick, so give me like a few seconds to adjust that so people can easily, potentially, find my stream, at least when it's live. So, alright, so the next pick, is in for Raw. As with the next pick, in the third round, Raw selects from NXT, JC Jane. Very big, very bold pick from the Monday night side of things. I gotta this. There we go. Shrink this so it's like not overlapping. Alright, so the first 3 picks are already in. And it looks like they're sticking with the women's division for the first 2 picks in the 3rd round. Very, very bold choice, at least in my opinion. Probably not very bold to many people, but it's at least very bold to me. Smackdown is back on the clock. With the next pick in the WWE draft, Smackdown selects from NXT, and actually selected by SmackDown in real life, Blair Davenport. Very interesting for round 3 so far, as both sides are just through their first 2 picks sticking with the women's division. Imagine it's just a clean sweep of women's division pickups for both sides. That would be crazy, but also kind of funny. At least to me. Just to me, at least. So now is now back to the Monday night side of things for their third pick, the third round. Alright, it looks like the next pick is in for Raw. As with the next pick in the WWE draft, Raw selects from NXT, also drafted this brand in real life, the Mad Dragon and former NXT champion, Ilya Dragunov. Very, very good pickup for Raw. And I'm saying these things already knowing that they're going to these brands, but I keep ruining it by saying these things. Goodness gracious. Alright. Now, that means that Raw has made their selection. It will now be going back to Smackdown for their third pick of the third round. Gotta say, bold pick for this next one for SmackDown. As the next pick in the WWE draft, SmackDown selects also from NXT. So the fourth straight pick from NXT. They select Axiom, the Masked Man, formerly known as A-Kid, even though a lot of people don't realize that. At least I hope they do. And so far, 3 picks for each side. And I've only seen singles talent. That's crazy. So no tag teams, no groups so far. We could have a clean sweep. We could have a clean sweep of only singles competitors. But only time will tell. And we will not know that until we get to the end of the third round. Now put Raw back on the clock. And the next pick is in for Raw. With the next pick in the WWE draft, Raw selects Julius and Brutus Creed, Ivy Nile, and Chad Gable, Diamond Mine. So that means Chad Gable is now aligned himself with the Creeds and Ivy Nile to reform Diamond Mine, so Diamond Mine 2.0, I guess. And that means, I guess, seemingly the end of Alpha Academy. As Otis, Kirizawa are by themselves, which I just realized they're... Oof. They're not even on... Oof. So, yes. So I guess just for the next picks. I guess for Akira Tozawa and Otis. Since I didn't put them on a specific brand. I don't want to pick for them. They're the only 2 people I completely forgot about since I mentioned Chad Gable. So Akira Tozawa and Otis. Oh, and... Oh, wait, no. I just said 45 picks. So obviously, oh my goodness, I need to stop stopping my words and start talking and go like this. Ba ba ba. It's annoying to do it on screen, on camera too. It's annoying. But anyways, hope you're all having a great day. Besides my mind wandering. And as for Kirizawa and Otis, there'll be, I guess, bonus picks. I'll just like include them for like do like a round 9, just for them too. I don't know. I'll figure it out as once I get to them. Because I don't want to take the time to figure out like, oh, what brand do I want them on, that kind of thing. So that means Smackdown is now on to their 4th pick of the 3rd round. Like the next pick is in for Smackdown. As with the next pick in the WWE draft, Smackdown selects the Boat, Natalya. It's a good way to continue building up upon seemingly what could be a stacked women's division for Friday nights. Gotta say, I'm just hearing the draft music and it's like slowly getting to me where I'm like, I want to break. So I'm gonna take a quick break from my headphones. Excuse me. Which now puts Raw on the clock with their final selection, their final pick of the 3rd round. And with the final pick for Raw, the final pick for Monday night, the WWE Draft, Raw selects Mr. Jamaican Me Crazy, well, not anymore at least, Mr. Kofi Kingston. So, since Kofi Kingston is getting drafted to Monday nights, could we see, it looks like it'll be the end of the New Day, as Big E, who's been out of action, is more likely not going to be coming back in terms of in-ring action. Then Kofi getting selected by himself individually rather than as a team with Xavier Woods, the New Day. Looks like that'll mean that we're going to be seeing the split and the end of an era with the New Day. But could we see them face off on Monday nights, or could we see them split off and do their own things on separate brands? Only time will tell, and then only the draft can determine that fate. And with the final pick in the 3rd round, SmackDown selects Io Sky, Asuka, and Kairi Sane Damage Control. So it looks like they're going to be finally getting the tag team pick up as that pick, they add another great team with the Kabuki Warriors and Kairi and Io Sky teaming up as Damage Control on Friday nights. And with that means both brands avoid the clean sweep of single superstars, as Raw adds on to their male tag team division with Diamond Mine, and then SmackDown potentially rounds out their women's tag division with Damage Control. So very, very nice to see for both brands, as that'll do it for third round. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to round 4. But when it comes to round 4, I guess we're getting close to the halfway point. So after round 4, we will take a quick break so I can replenish, refuel. If you have to maybe use the bathroom, get some food, get some water, get some drinks, get anything you need off screen when you're not watching me. You can do it after round 4, or you can do it whenever while continuing to watch me. Whether you're cooking hot pockets in the microwave, get some water, get some soda or a sports drink in your system. Either way, hope you find that sustainable nourishment to get you through the next however long we go for the draft. So let's go ahead and reset this, as SmackDown will have the first pick for round 4. And time to change it from 3 to 4. Woo! It's now round 4. Now time for round 4, ladies and gentlemen. Time for round 4. SmackDown, SmackDown is on the clock, and it looks like they're almost ready to make their first pick. I need to stop making having so much awkward silence. With the first pick in round 4, SmackDown selects the megastar L.A. Knight. Yeah. Alright, I'll keep dancing, but I can't really be singing a song just in case I get copyright, even if I'm just kind of humming it. Because you never know when it comes to copyright stuff. If you're just faintly playing it, faintly singing it, or whatever the case, I can probably still get you in a little bit of trouble. Not the biggest of trouble, but just little problems down the road. So now, Raw is back up on the clock, and they are getting ready to make their first pick of the draft. Their first pick of round 4. And with the next pick in round 4, Raw selects the ring general. I'll say it like that instead, so I'm not butchering it. And Ludwig Kaiser Imperium. Yeah, Imperium. There we go. It's funny how I just said it. It was not there. Alright, so first pick's already on the board. Great things to see for both brands. As looks like SmackDown is gonna keep their megastar, and then Raw keeps their ring general. As a lot of these picks are gonna be just basically not really big old like new additions to the roster, but keeping superstars and groups that are already on their brands. So, for example, Imperium gets to stay on Monday nights, and LA Knight gets to stay on Friday nights. That being said, next pick. The next brand to make their second selection, the round will be Monday Night Raw. With the next pick in the draft, Monday Night Raw Raw selects the monster among men, Raw. Oh, sorry, Braun Strowman. Very, very good pick, at least in my opinion. Is headed to Monday nights in Braun Strowman. Very good pickup for Monday Night Raw. Which means that they'll get the monster and they'll get the regional in the same round. That's crazy, bro. But yeah. And it's funny when I think about it, as Braun Strowman's former tag team partner Ricochet is still on the board, as well as many countless others. Got main event Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Damian Priest. Oh, sorry. That was a spoiler. I should probably hold my mouth closed for that. Shouldn't have said that. We do have a lot of NXT picks on the board, but we have guys like Jey Uso, Ricochet, Kevin Owens, Dragon Lee, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bronson Reed, the phenomenal AJ Styles, Carmella, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Pretty Deadly, New Catch Republic, the LWO, Latino with Order, Andrade, Logan Paul, Jimmy Uso, Carlito, Xavier Woods, Drew McIntyre, the almighty Bobby Lashley, CM Punk, Sheamus, Randy Orton, the Viper, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Dakota Kai, Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez from NXT, even though I shouldn't be ruining it. Becky Lynch, Bayley, Jade Cargill, Lyra Valkyria, The Bloodline, DIY, The Street Profits, and the OC. So all those people are still up on the board, even though I did ruin at least 2 from NXT picks, but shall not fret, as Smackdown is getting prepared to make their next selection, their next pick of the draft. As with the next pick in the WWE draft, SmackDown selects Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and the WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman, the Bloodline. And notice how I didn't say Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is not a part of this Bloodline, as he's currently on a hiatus, both in real life, especially with the Bloodline, but also in this universe mode, as only time will tell when Roman Reigns will be picked. SmackDown or Raw. Now, Raw is now Raw be ready to make their next selection, their next pick in the 4th round, as they are on the clock. And with the next pick in the draft, Raw selects Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, Joaquin Wilde, Cruz del Toro, and Zelina Vega, the LWO. Great pickup. I like to think that's definitely interesting and probably a really good pickup for Monday Night Raw, as it won't be Monday Night Raw anymore. It'll be Monday Night Rey Mysterio, as the master one, the greatest masked wrestler of all time in WWE history, is heading to Monday nights with his newly formed Latino World Order, aka the LWO. And so far, I've seen 3 teams go off the board in round 4. So 3 teams and 5 picks. So 60% of the 4th round picks have been tag teams or groups, factions, whatever you want to call them. So definitely interesting to see. And so far, no additions to their women division so far. Kind of hoping that does change, at least by the next 2 picks. But only time will tell if we may see any changes and updates to the women's division for either side, as SmackDown is on the clock. They're with the next pick in the 4th round. And with the next pick of the fourth round, Smackdown selects from NXT, the Lioness, Nikita Lyons. I think it's not the... I can't say it's not the greatest pickup. Obviously, there's going to be good, great, and just different ways of interpreting pickups or the selections made by both brands. But it's definitely an interesting pickup for SmackDown to add to their women's division, as I can't really just say if it's a good pick or bad pick. I can say if it's interesting, because if I say it's good or bad pick, it's dude, I put together all the superstars that were going to be available for this, so I can maybe briefly say it, but it's just interesting that Nikita Lyons is being picked before the likes of Bayley, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill, all of them, as well as Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Nia Jax. It's a lot of NXT superstars, and a lot of teams are going off the board before a lot of superstars that I would think would already be off the board. But we're already into round 4, and the man Becky Lynch is still on the board. Who else is still on the board? You got main event Jey Uso is still on the board. The phenomenal AJ Styles is still on the board. The man Becky Lynch is still on the board. That's crazy, bro. Actually, that kind of blows my mind, if I'm being honest. That the next pick will be going to Raw, as they're ready to make their 4th pick of the 4th round. It looks like the pick is in for Raw. As with the next pick in the 4th round, Raw selects Naomi. Wow. Looks like Monday Night Raw is going to be adding some glow to Monday nights with the addition of Naomi to their women's division. So I think it's a very good, solid pickup. Former women's champion, adding that bit of kick, adding that bit of glow to their show. Hey, I rhymed. Surprisingly. Now, with the 4th pick for Monday Night Raw being selected, that will put SmackDown on the clock to make their 4th pick of the 4th round. Looks like a lot of superstars have not been taken, and it still surprises me. Seriously, it's surprising me to just dang. And with the next pick in the 4th round, SmackDown selects. In real life, he is the current United States champion and viral sensation, Mr. Logan Paul is going to Friday nights. And funny enough, last time I checked, he's going to be staying on the brand he was put on in real life. So, because he was a champion, protect pick, yada yada yada. But a lot of superstars staying on their brands, a lot of NXT call-ups, just simply a lot of a lot of picks that are starting to remind me and make me think of the draft from real life, the 2024 WWE draft, which a lot of these picks, whether they're champions in real life or not, a lot of in NXT call-ups, they're either going to the brand that they were picked up by, whether they're staying or not, NXT call-ups, so on and so forth. But yeah, a lot of just similarities to the real life WWE draft. As the next pick will be the final pick in round 4 for Monday nights. So it'll be interesting to see who they will select. And the next pick is in for Raw. As with the final pick in the 4th round, Monday Night Raw selects the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. I think that's a great pick. I personally think it's a great pick, mainly because he dropped from potentially being first or even second round and dropping all the way to the fourth round for Raw to pick him up. So, very good selection. Obviously, he should have been selected earlier, but I guess dropping down the fourth round kind of helped out Raw because they were just waiting out when SmackDown would pick him up, and they played the waiting game, and it turned out to be, I guess, a good thing because they were able to pick up the prize fighter and add him to their roster. As now, SmackDown is back on the clock to make the final pick of the fourth round. And with the final pick in the fourth round, SmackDown selects Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the OC. Definitely an interesting board. Definitely an interesting just seeing the results, the recap for round 4, as Raw selected Imperium, Braun Strowman, the LWO, Latino World Order, Naomi, and Kevin Owens. And then for SmackDown, LA Knight, the Bloodline, Nikita Lyons, Logan Paul, and the OC. The thing that kind of catches my eye about round 4 is that both sides picked up 2 male tag teams, two tag teams or 2 groups, two factions, 2 groups, 2 single male singles superstars, and then 1 female superstar for each brand. So just 2 teams, and 3 singles competitors. 2 teams, 3 singles competitors for both brands. So definitely interesting to see. With that being said, as I'll start preparing to set up for round 5, we're about to go ahead. After I finish setting this up, we will go into a quick break so I can use the bathroom. If you have to use the restroom, get some food and whatnot, go ahead and do so, as I won't be doing anything for the next probably 5 minutes because I need to take a good break. And plus, round 5 minutes works out as now it's time to take a break here for the WWE Draft. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for round numero 5. Count it 5 for the WWE draft. As I've already reached the halfway point of the draft. Now going to get prepared for next picks. As last time I checked, it will be Raw to start, as I'm pretty sure. That, yeah, SmackDown got selected last round, so yeah, 1, 3, 5. So, SmackDown got selected last round, means Raw will be selecting first this round. So Raw, they are now on the clock. All right. With the first pick in the 5th round of the WWE draft, Raw selects Dragon Lee. Very good pickup, at least in my opinion, for the Raw brand, because although Dragon Lee will not be part of LWO, he will still have that alliance. He'll still have that alliance just in case with Rey Mysterio on Monday nights. So definitely a good pickup to see for Raw. As now, SmackDown is now on the clock. I apologize if my eating bothers any of you. Gotta eat lunch. Haven't had a chance to eat lunch yet today, besides just now. So, yeah. All right. The pick is in. As with the next pick, the 5th round, SmackDown selects Sami Zayn. Well, with Sami Zayn going to SmackDown, that means you split up Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, even though they're already on separate brands. It kind of stinks for that part, but it means that he's going to be moving from Monday nights to Friday nights. So, gets away from Gunther, gets away from a lot of things, but that means he lines himself back in the what is it? He doesn't align himself, but he just has to once again handle the what's the word? He has to deal with the bloodline once again. Instead of being a part of the bloodline, he's going to be potentially having to deal with the bloodline. Excuse me. If they do end up crossing paths later in the coming weeks for this universe mode. That's what that pick means now. Raw is now back on the clock. And with the next pick in the 5th round, Raw selects the Prince, Finn Balor. Very, very big, very bold, very great pick for Finn. Or great pick for Raw, as looks like we can maybe say potential feud between Priest and Balor if they both end up on the same brand, as with Finn Balor being selected by himself separately. Looks like we may be seeing a split or even an end to the Judgment Day. So you got Rhea Ripley going to SmackDown, you got Finn Balor going to Raw, so you already got that slight split. So if we see another separate pick with JD McDonough, with Damian Priest, or oh yeah, we do. It's funny how I was trying to explain, like, oh, maybe we see it. But yeah, it looks like that means with Finn Balor going to Raw, it is probably officially the end of the Judgment Day, as Dominic Mysterio has joined the Legado del Fantasma, who's going to SmackDown. Then you got Rhea Ripley, who's going to SmackDown as a singles competitor. Then you got Finn Balor going off on his own to Raw. So that leaves 2 members of the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and JD McDonough, which I'm pretty sure they'll both be separate. So this is getting interesting, even though I kind of had this planned out and I'm not making any sense anymore. As now SmackDown is back on the clock, right, and they'll be ready to make their next pick. And with the next pick in the 5th round, SmackDown selects Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, DIY. Oh, sorry. Oh. I just realized I'm trying to do all this, and then it's funny how my Xbox is going off my ear because it's connected to my USB port. And then I have the Jive music playing, even though y'all couldn't hear it. And just trying to do this is like, ugh. It's like all over the place for a second. Gotta say, I think it's a good pick for SmackDown because you added another team to your division. A very well experienced and former champions in form DIY. Last time I checked, they've only won the NXT Tag Team Gold, so interesting to see. That'll now put Raw in position to get ready to make their 3rd pick of this round. With the next pick in the 5th round, Raw selects the phenomenal AJ Styles. So you're telling me AJ Styles is going to drop all the way to the 5th round? That's insane. That's like actually crazy to me. I did not expect that, if I'm being completely honest. Now, SmackDown will prepare to make their 3rd pick of round 5. With the next pick in the 5th round, Smackdown selects from NXT, Lyra Valkyria. Da da da. Woo! Ba ba ba. Woo! Ba ba ba. Woo! This now means Raw's on the clock to make their 4th pick for the 5th round. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Thought I heard something. And now I should be able to tell if someone is behind me. With the next pick in the 4th round, Raw selects from NXT. It's the Generation of Jade, Cora Jade. I feel like the WWE2K commentary team was saying, "Oh, that's interesting. That's great. That's good. That's great. That's awesome." But no. I gotta say, it's pretty nice to see how all their both brands are really rounding out, building up their I would say their roster, but more of their women's divisions with NXT call-ups. A lot of superstars coming from NXT up to the main roster, whether it's Raw, whether it's SmackDown, but it's still great to see for all these great competitors. Sorry, I had to fix it real quick. Alright, the next pick is going to SmackDown, as they will now be preparing for their fourth pick of the 5th round. With the next pick in the 5th round, SmackDown selects, also from NXT, Roxanne Perez, the Prodigy, Roxanne Perez. I don't know why it took me a second to say that name, even though I know the name, know the person. It's probably because I want to say the NXT Women's Champion, but title names don't apply in this draft, because all the champions will be decided in universe mode, in matches, in tournaments, or whatever the case. I want to say I can determine them by, go with actual champions, but nah. Because I'm mixing up all the rosters. Because last time I checked, Logan Paul, who's the United States champion, and Sami Zayn, who's the Intercontinental champion in real life, both of them champions in real life, like I said, are both going to be on the same brand, so it wouldn't make sense to have them both be a champion, because they're both on different brands, but on the same brand for the singles titles. It's like Raw is going to prepare to make their 5th and final pick of round 5. And with the final pick for Raw in round 5, Raw selects the Annihilator, Nia Jax. It looks like with the end of round 5 for Raw, they do a clean sweep on single superstars. None of them, and I mean none of them, are no teams were selected by Raw this round. Very interesting to see. The last two competitors the last two individuals both have a last name that starts with a J, and they're both female competitors. So both great, and honestly going to be very interesting additions to the Red brand. Which now brings us to the final pick of round 5 for Smackdown. And with the final pick in round 5 of the WWE draft, SmackDown selects a man that spits in the face of people who don't want to be cool, Mr. Carlito. Very nice to see. And the good thing is he can potentially align himself with Legado del Fantasma if seemingly necessary. And he gets away from the LWO just in case if any problems arise. Also, quick side note: there are a handful of superstars that are currently not on the WWE roster. As in, they won't be in the roster. That they're not currently on the roster. Whether we're waiting for them to arrive through their DLC pack, that's probably not for months coming out, like Lyra Valkyria and Carlito. And then there are just some superstars. There are probably a handful, at least a few superstars like Dragon Lee, who are not going to be on the roster at all. They're not on the base roster, nor are they on the the DLC packs. So, and that will conclude round 5. As you can take a quick look at, there's only one team selected. Between both brands, and that was DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Very interesting to see that only one group was picked. Kind of surprised me. I just want to apologize for the quick and brief, how do I say, pauses and just awkward silence. It's a habit that I've built that I'm annoyed with, and didn't mean to make it a thing for my streams, so. Right, that will conclude round 5. Thank you, Radcore, for the hype behind the stream. Thank you for following. Thank you for tuning in and sticking around for episode 1 of this universe mode that I hope I can have the opportunity to stream on both to stream both on YouTube and Twitch, which is currently happening at the same time. And hopefully, just hopefully, I won't have to record and upload these for reruns anytime soon. And what do I mean? It'll be a handful of time down the road. Probably just at least a month or so from now. Yeah. A little more than a month away. Yeah, I'll be out for basically a week, Monday through Friday, and I will not be able to stream or record anything. So I'll definitely have a plan for that, and then it will happen about a month later, towards the end of July. So towards the end of June and July, I will be out. So just thought I'd mention that, even though a lot of people will not care or tune in to be able to hear me say that. So, with that being said, it is now time to to get into round 6 of the WWE draft. All right. Round 6 coming up. Only 3 more rounds. You have round 6, 7, and 8. Means that Smackdown will be selecting first. Yep, Smackdown will be selecting first. Alright. Now, Smackdown is now on the clock for round 6. With the first pick of the 6th round, SmackDown selects Liv Morgan. Ooh, Liv Morgan dropping all the way down to round 6 is crazy. Absolutely crazy to me. But I mean, better late than never to bring the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour to SmackDown, or to just Friday nights, I guess. So. And plus, she can continue the Revenge Tour against Rhea Ripley, since they are both going to be on SmackDown. So, Ripley versus Morgan will be an interesting matchup. Now. Means Raw is not on the clock to make their first pick of round 6. And with the next pick in the 2000, the next pick in the 6th round, Raw selects Karrion Kross, Akam, Razor, and Scarlett, the Final Testament. Wow, just wow. I can't help but say wow to the fact that the Final Testament dropped all the way to round 6. Jeez, I was expecting maybe round 3 or 4. But I kind of expected them to go round 2 or round 3. But the drop from maybe round 2 or 3 to 6 is crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Now, with the Final Testament heading to Raw, it's now SmackDown's turn to make their next pick. With the next pick in the 6th round, SmackDown selects the role model, Bayley. Another pick that blows my mind with how far the person dropped in the draft. Once again, with the role model, I expected round 1, at the latest round 2, and she drops all the way to round 6. Round 6 is crazy, bro. It's just pretty. I don't know. It feels like insanity, even though those are two different ideas. Crazy, insanity. I don't know, but the fact that the current WWE, I think, women's champion, yes, I might have pronounced the wrong title name, but either way, the fact that she dropped to a late round It's mind-blowing. That means that Raw is now back on the clock. And with the next pick in the 6th round, Raw selects from NXT, the leader of the Whoop That era, Whoop That Trick Williams, Trick Willie. Time, and it looks like it will be time to whoop that trick, whoop that trick, whoop that trick on Monday nights. So it's kind of funny to think that his former partner in crime, Mr. H.I.M. Carmelo Hayes has not been drafted yet. So Trick Williams being drafted for Carmelo Hayes is definitely wild to see. Just absolutely wild. It's funny seeing all these NXT superstars getting the call before a lot of main roster superstars that are either going to stay their brand or switch brands. So, that being said, now time for pick 3 of round 6 for Smackdown. With the next pick in the 6th round, Smackdown selects a man who made his return at the Royal Rumble earlier this year, El Idolo Andrade. Andrade making his return. And in terms of the draft, pretty sure it was a mid-round pick. Mid-pick. Like a more of a late-round pick, but in this case, he's once again a late-round pick, so it's definitely interesting to see that he's dropping all the way to round 6. A lot of unsuspecting picks, a lot of drops in draft stock, a lot of superstars who are getting drafted earlier than I would expect, or getting drafted a lot later than I would expect. So far it's like a clean sweep of single superstars for SmackDown. Can't say the same for Raw, as they are now getting ready to make their next pick. The 3rd pick of the 6th round. And with the next pick in the 6th round, Monday Night Raw selects Kit Wilson and Elton Pritz. Pretty Deadly is going to Monday Nights. That gets a yes boy from me, as they've been trying to get through it on SmackDown, but it looks like they're going to be going to Monday Night to see if they can get a better opportunity, even though they're going to have to go up against the Final Testament probably some point down the line. So very, very interesting indeed, ladies and gentlemen, to see for Pretty Deadly. As the next pick, we go into SmackDown for their 4th pick this round. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below in the chat. I would greatly appreciate that. If you go on to enjoy this video, even though a lot of it is just me talking and saying names and whatnot, please let me down. Please smash the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. It would greatly help me out. Oh yeah, SmackDown is up. And with the next pick, in the 6th round, Friday Night SmackDown selects Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Apollo Crews, the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, the Street Profits. Obviously, Street Profits is just for the tag team duo of Dawkins and Ford, but it looks like they want to expand and let Bobby Lashley do their own things, as the Pride is no more, but the Street Profits go on under new leader of Apollo Crews leading the way, with the accompaniment of Ford's wife, Bianca Belair. So, EST looks like she's gonna be going solo alongside her husband and the other 2 guys of Dawkins and Crews. I just realized I can spell AMC or ABC. I don't know. That's just super random. But yeah. That now puts Raw back on the clock to make their 4th selection of round 6. With the next pick in the 6th round, Monday Night Raw selects from NXT, Gigi Dolan. I gotta say, that's a surprising and honestly unexpected pick, at least in my opinion. Because by adding Gigi Dolan to your women's roster, your women's division, you now put her in the same division as her former Toxic Attraction member, JC Jane. Go to see them reunite Toxic Attraction and get the band back together, or will they stay as rivals, enemies, or whatever you want to call it? Only time will tell. Here, in universe mode. So now, SmackDown is up on the clock to make their final selection of round 6. And with the final pick in the 6th round, SmackDown selects from NXT, Supernova 11, Noam Dar. So they're going to be picking up the former leader of Metaphor and bringing him up to the main roster. So that'll definitely be interesting to see Supernova sessions on Friday nights, hopefully. So definitely some interesting picks, some interesting decisions, selections, or whatever you want to say they are for SmackDown. As that now brings up the final pick for Monday Night Raw and for the round. And with the final pick in the 6th round, Raw selects, quoted as the most beautiful woman in all of WWE, even though I kind of find that hard to believe, even though it's just a kind of quote, Carmella, former Women's Money in the Bank winner, and former SmackDown Women's Champion, and I believe also Tag Team Champion. Definitely good addition to add to the women's division of Monday Night Raw. That being said, that will conclude round number 6 of the draft, as we are now going to get prepared and underway for round 7. Oh, did not mean to remove that. Whoops. Was in a trigger happy spree. Oh yeah, it's Smackdown selects first, right? Wait, no, it goes. So Raw selects first. Sorry, I don't know why I keep blanking on who's gonna be picking first. I should know this. I should know who's gonna be picking what round. Anyways, it is now Raw's turn to make the first pick of the 7th round. With the first pick in the 7th round, Raw selects the big strong boy, Tyler Bates, and the bruiserweight, Pete Dunne. New Catch Republic is heading to Monday nights to potentially face off against the likes of the LWO, Diamond Mine, Pretty Deadly, Imperium, and the final testament, as well as the Wyatt Six. So a stacked tag team division is just on paper by itself. So we now prepare for SmackDown to make their first pick of round 7. And with the next pick in round 7, SmackDown selects from NXT, Wes Lee. And I'm only adding his first name because there was a Dragon Lee, and I don't want to put Lee and people were that, oh, there was 2 Lees. Are we sure it wasn't the same person? Because you never know. You never know. For wondering what I was just eating, applesauce, baby, applesauce. It was delicious. And wait. Alright, it's now time to get to the next pick for Raw. There are a handful of superstars that have not been picked, especially for the SmackDown. But it's for the, I guess, men's division. The men's division, and it's just crazy. Some people have not been picked up so far, and it's blowing my mind. I'm thinking, how are all these guys dropping to the 7th, 8th round? Maybe even the 8th round. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Raw is on the clock with the next pick. And with the next pick for Monday Night Raw in the 7th round, they select Mia Yim. Well, she's been trying to get away from the OC, and apparently she has, as in real life. She's trying to compete for the to become the first ever NXT North American Women's Champion, even though she was one of two superstars to compete from the main roster, which is interesting in my book. But yeah, she finally decided, I'm done with the OC. I'm doing my own thing on Monday nights and try to go compete for a women's title, for the women's world title. As last time I checked, Michin Mia Yim has, I believe, not won a single title since joining WWE. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure, if I'm being completely honest. Alright. Means now Smackdown is going to prepare to make their next pick. And with the next pick in the 7th round, SmackDown selects your boy, Mr. Xavier Woods. Which, with Xavier Woods going to SmackDown and Kofi Kingston going to Raw, it officially brings the end of an era. As New Day has officially split, and that brings an end to their run as a tag team. Fortunately for this end, but I believe, especially now with how things are going for both superstars in real life, it's time to split up. Time to probably at least for now, with the draft have already happened in real life, I would say have a rivalry, but maybe more of just split off to your own things. I don't know. I do not know. To, I believe the name is Atia. Oh, what? When do they... Bro. Every time someone, like, puts a message on the YouTube chat, I never see it until after they've left. It's just annoying to me. I'm not saying it's like, oh, it's kind of dumb from them. What's that thing of... I never know when they join or send little message in the chat because I don't have it like popped up. I either have, because I typically have the game on my main monitor, and then on my computer I have the OBS pulled up. Well, in this case, once again, so I'll answer all the questions. So they joined, asked if I drafted JSO. No, not yet. Although you did, you're probably not going to see this. But unfortunately, Jace is still on the board. And then good draft pick. Ooh, good draft pick. Ooh. Thank you for that. That was definitely interesting to see. That's hilarious, though. But anyways. Xavier Woods has been drafted, and now it'll be Raw's turn to make their selection. And with the next pick in round 7 of the WWE draft, Raw selects from NXT, as they also pick this person who's from NXT to Raw as well. Miss Kiana James is heading to Monday nights. If it'll load. Yes, Kiana James is going to be heading to Monday nights. that Smackdown is now on to the third pick of this round. There's still a lot of good people on the board, surprisingly. I could have just handpicked predetermine it, but I'd rather have it randomized. It's been super random for a draft. Like, holy moly. At least in my opinion. I mean, I literally could have picked all the drafts and who's gonna be picked when, but no, that kind of ruins the fun of randomization. With the next pick in the 7th round, SmackDown selects former Damage Control member Dakota Kai. Oh, goodness gracious, it's like really stretched out. Alright, good enough. There we go. But yeah, Dakota Kai is heading to SmackDown to basically join Damage Control, but as a singles competitor, so she'll still have the alliance, even though it's probably not going to be the same. So next pick, we're going to Raw. Yeah, there's still a lot of people on the board for both sides. Actually, there's just a lot of people that they could pick up, and I'm surprised some of them have not been picked yet. This blows my mind. And the next pick is in the 7th round. Next pick in the 7th round, Monday Night Raw selects the Big Bronson Reed. Sorry, I keep adjusting it. It just kind of bothered me, you know. Yeah, Bronson Reed is now headed to Monday nights. Well, staying on Monday nights, but still. Pretty sure there's a handful of current champions that are still on the board. It's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling to me. As SmackDown is now up to make their 4th selection here in the round. And with the next pick in the 7th round, SmackDown selects from NXT, Sol Ruka is heading to Friday nights. And just a quick side note, there have been multiple and a lot of great pickups for the women's division and call-ups from NXT for the women's division for both brands. But some of the superstars, some of the women that are still available that have yet to be drafted include Jade Cargill, Becky Lynch, and Tiffany Stratton. Those are just a few of the women that are still remaining in the draft that are available to be picked up for the next pick or two. So, definitely interesting indeed. As Raw is now back up to the plate. And with the next pick in the 7th round of the WWE Draft, Raw selects for their final pick of the round, Rage Holland. Ooh, I didn't expect that, but for a late round pick, I think it's definitely an interesting pick nonetheless for Monday nights. As that'll conclude for Raw's selections for Monday Night Raw here in the 7th round, as we prepare for the final pick in round 7. And with the final pick in the 7th round, Smackdown selects Jimmy Uso. Wrong person, but I'm still doing it anyway. So you're telling me SmackDown's going to pick... Well, Jimmy Uso's going to be selected in the draft before Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso does? That's crazy, bro. I didn't expect that. But honestly, say the best for last, am I right? In terms of the available superstars up for grabs to draft in the final round, round 8, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are a total of 20. Oh, I was thinking it'd be 8 rounds, 45 pick. Wait, did I count wrong? I think I did. 7, 10, 24. 45, yeah. I'm so confused. I feel like... Wait, 5 times... Alexa, what is 45 divided by 5?
45 divided by 5 is 9.
The second before she said that, I realized that 45 divided by 5 is 9. So that's 9. I thought it was 8 rounds. Even though I should have known that 5 times 10 is 50. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring a conclusion to round 7. As we now prepare for round 8. Let's say the final one, which was going to be the final one until I realized that it's actually round 9 will be the final round of the draft. Two more rounds, ladies and gentlemen, and still seemingly a ways left to go. As SmackDown selected last, which means they're going to be going first this round. I love how I have to keep clarifying just to make sure, even though I should know. I should already know. SmackDown is now on the clock to make the first pick of round 8. Okay, I'm just hearing the same thing over and over. That's all I've been doing. Plus, give my ears a quick little few minute break for the time being. And with the first pick of round 8, SmackDown selects Jade Cargill. Holy moly. She nearly drops the little final round, and she ends up being the first pick in the 8th round. Better late than never for SmackDown, so that's what I have to say about that. But now, it'll be Raw's turn to make their first pick of round 8. I'm still so shocked that Jey Uso has not been drafted. The fact that certain superstars have not been drafted just blows my mind. And with the next pick in the 8th round, Monday Night Raw selects former Judgment Day member JD McDonough, the Irish ace, JD McDonough. You're joking, right? JD McDonough. JD McDonough is going to be drafted before Jey Uso. That kind of... that butters my biscuit in the wrong way. Just not a good sight to see, but who knows? It might end up being a good thing for Jey Uso or Jada McDonough, but not my place. As SmackDown is now up on the clock. And with the next pick in the 8th round, SmackDown selects the Viper, Randy Orton. It's definitely great to see. Definitely a good pickup for the blue brand. But the fact that there's so many superstars that are dropping so late in the draft, Jade Cargill, Randy Orton, Kevin, Xavier, I don't know, just a lot of people dropping in the later stages of the draft compared to the first, like the first round was no surprise, but then once we got to round 2 and 3, it all broke loose. It all just went crazy. Now, speaking of crazy, it'll now bring up Raw to make their next selection. And with the next pick in the 8th round, Raw selects Miss Tiffy Time. Tiffany Stratton is going to Monday nights, so you got Tiffy Time on Raw. You got The Glow and Tiffy Time both going to Raw, so definitely going to be an interesting future matchup here in the universe for this universe mode to see. As with that, it'll now bring SmackDown up on the clock for their next pick. And with the next pick in the 8th round, SmackDown selects the fella, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Celtic Warrior, the Bro Kicks, and Fight Night on SmackDown. So it's something great to see, to finally join the likes of Randy Orton. So the Apex Predator and the Celtic Warrior both being on the same brand and the same round. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good, man. So now bring up Raw for the next selection. And with the next pick in round number 8, Raw selects the highlight of the night, Mr. Ricochet. Looks like Raw is getting a good one, and both the current WWE Speed Champion exclusively on X or Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, and he has the nickname of Highlight of the Night, so it's like for him to drop to round 8 is definitely a good thing to see, at least to get him, but generally not the greatest thing for certain superstars to drop low or get drafted early. So there are so many people that are getting drafted before certain superstars, and it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. As SmackDown will now be on the clock to make their 4th pick of round 8. And with the next pick in round 8, SmackDown selects Mr. Giovanni Vinci. With Giovanni Vinci going to SmackDown, especially since he's not going to be a singles competitor, head to the Blue Brand to get away from Imperium and the potential problems he might have against a Ludwig Kaiser. So, separate brands, no problem, hopefully. Which now puts Raw back on the clock to make their 4th selection of the round. And with the next pick in the 8th round, Monday Night Raw selects the current El Campeon, Mr. Damian Priest. And I guess that just simply means that is the final member of the current Judgment Day. So looks like it is the end of the Judgment Day as we know it. As it looks like Finn Balor and Damian Priest could spark a rivalry. Maybe Finn Balor and JD McDonald team up against Priest. Who knows? Just have to find out in the coming weeks on Monday Night Raw. Which now brings SmackDown up to make their final selection of round 8. And the next pick of round 8, SmackDown selects the man, Becky Lynch. That's crazy. Becky Lynch was picked as the last pick for round 8. SmackDown's last pick for round 8. And then you just look at the rest of the draft. Crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. Doesn't make sense to me, but it's crazy, bro. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Yeah, that'll conclude SmackDown's portion of round 8 selections, as Raw is now on the clock to make their final selection of the round. And simply the final selection of the round will go to Raw. And with the final pick in round number 8, Monday Night Raw selects Dijak. That's Jake Dijak. I spelled it right, but I was capitalized unnecessarily. But now that means that'll conclude round 8, as we just have a few more selections. We have one final round, round number 9 for the WWE draft. This has been fun, even though it's been long, more than 2 hours. But I've completely enjoyed doing this for you guys. If you want to see more stuff like this, or basically more videos if you want to see more videos for the 2K24 universe mode that I'm doing the draft for, please let me know down below in the chat. If you want to help me out, consider smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, which would greatly help, which would be much appreciated. You don't have to, just please consider smash the like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. So that'll now be the conclusion of round 8. We are now into the final round. The final round for the WWE, for the WWE2K24, 2K24 Universe Mode WWE Draft. That was a lot. That was a mouthful. As Raw, it will be on the clock, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check because I always do this to myself. Yeah. It's the person who makes the final pick of the previous round. So now Raw is now on the clock. And with the first pick in the final round, Monday Night Raw selects main event Jey Uso. Hey, yay, 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 yay. It took 9 rounds for Jey Uso to be drafted. That's insane, bro. That's insane. Absolutely insane to me. To me, it's crazy. I was expecting him to probably go within the not maybe the first round, but maybe like the first 2 or 3 rounds, at least at most the 3rd round. But he finally gets off the board and joins the Monday Night Raw roster. And with the next pick, SmackDown makes their first selection. Will be making their first selection of the 9th round, and SmackDown selects. Da 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 da. My eyes, what do you see? A coked up personality named CM Punk. As CM Punk dropped all the way down to the 9th round, like Jey Uso did. Very, very crazy to see. That CM Punk going to SmackDown, that now moves the on the clock status back to Raw. And with the next pick in the 9th round, Raw selects Omos, an MVP. So the first accompanied manager pick for either brand, and I'm pretty sure the only one that I have listed. That now brings up SmackDown to make their next selection. And with the next pick in the 9th round, SmackDown selects the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Definitely interesting decision for SmackDown to pick 2 rivals back to back. You got CM Punk, who gets picked first in round 9, and then McIntyre's next. The pick right after for SmackDown. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me, that's for sure. As that now leaves 3 picks for both brands, both sides. As this next pick will be for Raw. And with the next pick in the 9th round, Monday Night Raw selects from NXT, Mr. Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is heading to Monday nights. It's kind of shocking. Well, I don't know if he's from NXT anymore because he already got caught up to the main roster beforehand. But anyways, it's kind of crazy to think that he didn't get drafted until round 9. Like I said, the randomization of this draft is a lot more random, just generally, for the draft compared to the NFL draft, maybe, and the WWE draft, that kind of stuff. As on the clock now is Smackdown is prepared to make their next selection. And with the next pick in the 9th round, Smackdown selects the almighty Bobby Lashley. Ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-da-bum. Bobby Lashley drafted in the final round. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now brings us to the second to last pick for Raw. Just a small pool is left over for both brands to select from. And with the next pick in the 9th round, Raw selects from NXT him, H-I-M, Mr. Carmelo Hayes. Honestly, I was thinking since he was one of the last few superstars in the pool for to be drafted, I was expecting him to be the last pick. Like, say the best for last maybe, but will not be the case as he is the 4th pick in round 9 for SmackDown. That brings up the 4th pick for SmackDown this round. As like I said, there are just a few superstars remaining in the pool for both brands to choose from. And with the next pick in the 9th round, SmackDown selects from NXT Josh Briggs. Very interesting pick to get that for SmackDown to call up Mr. Josh Briggs after an interesting run he's had currently in NXT, as I believe he's going for his 2nd or 3rd chance to become the NXT North American Champion, which he has failed multiple times. It's like, yeah, great, you're having a good run as a single superstar, but apparently you can't win the title, besides being the NXT Tag Team Champion many, many months ago. So, at least a year or so ago. With that being said, we are now under the final picks for both Raw and SmackDown, as with their final pick in the 9th round, in round 9, Monday Night Raw selects Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura. No. Shinsuke Nakamura. Sorry, I had to embrace my inner Rick Boogs for that pick. As for Monday Night Raw, they have made their final selection with the name of Shinsuke Nakamura, and that now brings SmackDown to their final pick of the draft, but the final pick of this draft, as with the final pick of the Universe Mode WWE draft, SmackDown selects. There's no way. Oh my goodness. The blue brand selects Roman Reigns. Oh my goodness. I guess saving the best for last proves to pay off for SmackDown as they pick up the tribal chief, the head of the table. Mr. Acknowledge Me. Put your ones up. Roman Reigns is the final pick in this year's draft. So, what are our thoughts, ladies and gentlemen? Is it good? Was it bad? Do we need to make some adjustments? Do we need to put some together? Unfortunately, this will not be a universe mode setup. I wish that were the case, but I've taken all this time to just read off these names and provide you guys a draft. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed today's draft, today's episode, today's stream. If you did, consider smash the like button if you're on YouTube. And if you're on, it doesn't matter if you're on Twitch or YouTube or wherever you've been able to find me, please consider commenting down below in the chat or, yeah, any video ideas or suggestions that you may have for future videos or future ideas, future episodes, whatever the case may be. And then consider following, subscribing, or however it is called from wherever you're watching to my channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Remember, guys, Jesus loves you. Stay awesome. And be like Dak. So with that, have a great day, guys. Adios, amigos.